and the dry season from mid-October to mid-April. Farmers rely on this pattern to know when to plant and harvest. An engineer relies on it to plan construction and development works. However, in recent years, especially in 2025 and now early 2026, this pattern has changed. Instead of experiencing a clear dry season, Liberia has been recording persistent and unusual rainfall, often accompanied by strong winds and flooding. Floods and storms displaced thousands of people, destroyed homes and washed away properties, and made living conditions extremely difficult in Monrovia and its surrounding communities in other parts of Liberia. Even now, in the first days of 2026, we are witnessing heavy rainfall and strong wind occurring late at night and early in the morning, as those of us in Monrovia experienced early this morning. About 3 o'clock this morning, we experienced a storm. But what is causing these problems? Many Liberians are understandably asking why our weather and climate are changing and why these events are becoming even more dangerous. The simple and obvious answer is climate change. Climate change is not a distant problem or a future threat. It is happening now, and Liberia is clearly experiencing its effects. Rising global temperatures are warming the oceans and the atmosphere, increasing moisture in the air and disrupting normal weather patterns. For Liberia, this means heavier rainfall outside of traditional season, stronger storms, and more frequent flooding. I talk about threats to Liberia. Two major climate threats stand out for our country. The first is sea level rise. Scientific projections indicate that sea level rise or sea level could rise from 0.6 meters to as much as 1 meter by the year 2100. Liberia has over 560 kilometers of coastline, and nearly 60% of our population lives along or near the coast. If this trend continues, thousands of Liberians will lose their homes and vital infrastructure such as roads, hospitals, coastlines will increasingly be in danger. The changing pattern and intensity of rainfall
that the allegations could not be supported by facts, forensics, or circumstances. This outcome came through due process, forensic review, and professional investigation. Let me again state clearly and unequivocally that since returning to Liberia from the United States on August 8, 2025, I did not meet, see, or interact with the Liberian at any time, in any place, or under any circumstances. That fact was central to the police investigation and was confirmed during the process that led to my exoneration. For clarity and public understanding, relating to Saturday, August 30, 2025, I was formally exonerated of the rape allegation made against me. The investigator found no evidence to substantiate the claim, and the findings clearly established that the allegations could not be supported by facts, forensics, or circumstances. This outcome came through due process, forensic review, and professional investigation. Let me again state clearly and unequivocally that since returning to Liberia from the United States on August 8, 2025, I did not meet, see, or interact with the alleged victim at any time, in any place, or under any circumstance. That fact was central to the police investigation and was confirmed during the process that led to my exoneration. For clarity and public understanding, it is important to address the specific claim relating to Saturday, August 30, 2025. On August 30 was a Saturday and a non-working day. I did not go to SKD Sports Complex to work on that day. I do not have personal access to my office key. Access to my office requires the presence of full assigned staff members, neither of whom was available or present on the said day. Therefore, it is impossible for anyone to bring food or for any interaction to occur in an office space that was not present in and would not be accessible. On that same day, Saturday, August 30th, I spent the entire day at Alpha Field until late in the evening in the presence of prominent and well-known individuals, including Chico Nathaniel Roberts, Kevin K.S. Sigwe, Alvin Brown, Columbus Tupa, Anthony Cole Dwago, amongst others. We later departed separately. I returned directly to my residence and did not leave my house rather again that day until the next day, which was a Sunday. These facts are verifiable. You be the judge. Despite the official findings of the Liberian National Police, I cooperated fully with the authorities from day one, and I will continue to respect the rule of law. I will not litigate this matter in the media, but I will also not accept injustice or silence in the face of verified truth. We empathize with the victim and the family, and we pray sincerely that the perpetrator of this crime will be found and prosecuted, not only for vindicate me or my reputation, but that justice will be served.
Whether you LWMP, whatever, it's politics is not what define us. You understand? If you look at how many persons that in the Unity Party that were citizens in power, those are the people that go to school, these are the people that did the food, and these are the people that they were calling from different telephones so their friends wouldn't know. Would not call their name. Would not tell them the same. Remember when you're in opposition, you didn't have place to ask for it. Would not want to call them by the name. But just to think that we are all Liberians. So when you see your family member going astray, you need to hold them. Now we that do Thanksgiving, we are being in the past. Everything's called now, we say Thanksgiving. I was telling my friend the other day, you know I love to joke. So I said, you see God, God is a wonderful person, He's our creator. But sometimes we ourselves, we give God hard time. You want to prove how to give God hard time?
In the corridor, are you both planning to remove the speaker?
But this is not a speaker house.
Are you one of those?
This place is not a speaker office. It's not a personal property. It's not anybody's personal property. Anybody who falls below the belt in terms of legislative proceedings and or requirement, obviously it behooves the members to ask you to step aside.
Do you want the speaker out?
I'm saying to you now, if you perform below the belt, it behooves the members to say step aside.
Is the speaker performing below the belt?
No, he's performing.
Okay, so
he's
you don't want
performing.
him out.
No, I'm not. I don't want. It's not. I don't want him out. I'm saying he's performing until it is proven beyond all reasonable doubt that that speaker have done this, has done this, has done this that required for us to remove him. Obviously, when we remove him.
What message do you have for others who are asking for the speaker to recuse himself? What message?
Well, those who want the speaker to recuse himself, they represent the burden of and prove lies on the accusers. So those who accuse the speaker to relinquish whatsoever position, those individuals have their justification. But I am saying, as we speak, the speaker still enjoy the confidence of some of us until he goes on.
Thank you so much.
Come again?
If you find reason to remove him,
Obviously, I remove and I take over. I remove Papa's chambers and why not just remove
have you signed a resolution?
No, there's no resolution. There's no resolution.
Thank you, sir.
They have arrested him?
Yeah, all they arrested him this morning. The people still up here.
Oh, his people?
No, the police.
Oh,
I
okay.
said women and children protection. The
okay.
anti-war people were all here last night guarding us because we are supposed to have a safety.
Yeah, sure.
So they already arrested him based upon some. He was there at first. They said they were only for questioning. And then because he said he didn't know the child, he don't know anyone of us, he don't know the child, he haven't seen the child into his things. God, and the people that are investigating got their error.
Okay.
So based upon, they went to the hospital to the child and the child didn't talk. Based upon their crew, they decided to keep him there.
Okay.
They came to the house and went to him to get fat because they bought the strap, the error, any place. This is a picture and see if the description thing in there so
Okay.
so I'm waiting. Oh yeah, so banana.
So how the man come on? How the little boy come on?
The boy trying you. I thought boy thinking he tried. I think he responded to treatment small and thing.
No, okay.
The treatment they giving him all the water, the fluid just coming from all of him. Although he's licking, and the crew asking us to get pimples and things for him.
Okay.
So the clothes can be messing on him, changing because he was not alone.
What?
That was he and two other guys. Big, huge men.
Imagine 2 other guys with doggy.
Yeah, he identified all of them. We even got their photos. So that's why this is not something to rush.
Wow.
So, really funny.
But they say he's in work with the NSA. They identify his name and all got him.
I can't stand no more, cause no more food. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. I can't stand no more, cause no more food. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. Hey yo, excuse me Mr. Journalist, I wonder how you make your headlines in the press release today. Although I read the news every day, but I'm really still getting confused now, and I just wanna ask you some questions. Oh, is it based on money? Is it based on presidency? Is it based on technology? Is it based on war? Tell me, we got major headlines. Oh, we got major story. Yeah. There is no job, no money for hustlers. We got major headlines.
Indeed, we got major headlines and major stories across our country, Liberia. It is a pleasure to be on here. Today is January 13, 2025. My name is William McGill, and we'd like to welcome all of you to the round table. And let me say good evening and welcome from Liberia. If you're joining us there from the US, I'd like to say good afternoon to you, good evening to you as well. Let me welcome my friend and brother, James Acker. Good evening, James, and welcome to the program.
Yeah, so thank you, Williams. It is indeed a pleasure again to be here this evening in Liberia for us now, because in other part of the world, I guess there are other different, atmosphere they're covering, but for us, it is the evening, so we want to say good evening, good morning to you, good afternoon, whatever you're watching from. Well, this is your platform. This is where we come to discuss issues surrounding Liberia. And one thing about this platform is it's not just for discussing about the issues, but we also see how best we can also make our own recommendation, as to how we can all solve these problems of our country. Because uh, remember, every citizens will need to do so to contributing to our country so that the country can move forward. So it's a pleasure to be here again this wonderful time, Williams.
Thank you so much for coming up, and it's a great pleasure. Let's take this music down, and we see how best we can basically dive into our talking points. I think I gotta take this shit, so yeah, I have to. Yeah, so basically, James, we are here tonight, and it's a great pleasure to be on and talking to our followers and our people across our country, Liberia, about things that matter the most, especially when it comes to happenings across our country, in the political landscape, in the activism and advocacy landscape, and everything. We've been following several top cases. We had Nimot releasing its report for 2025 of the government of President Joseph Boycott on his leadership. Nimot released a whole novel. I guess you had. I want to send this so I can be able to display it while we talk about it. And I guess you had an access to be able to read through the 59-page document of Nimot about their report from the government, and we saw a lot of failures from their report that the government didn't carry on properly. Like they spoke of a lot of things that was being spoke of from the report. And what do you make of Nemo report from the government? We would look at that. We'll also look at Bonjala situation, and there's been a lot of news in the public on social media that Bonjala was smiling. Seems like you've done great job and you happy about it. There's been so many different claims and counterclaims about his arrest and his court appearance as well. And it's a lot on our list. We would dive in a little bit because we've been here talking about the issue with Brian McGill. We dive in a little bit with the issue with Brian McGill. We play that clip from Front Page Africa where he did a release about clearing him up for now, as the case is still open for further evidence to be presented to the Liberia National Police. We look at that as well, and how the police handle cases of such, including the Brian McGill case and as well as Bonjala. And we'll look a little bit into Mobile Malu's situation at the Monrovia City Court as well. So that's what's on our list. Do you have anything to add, James?
What I think is okay for now, because we may not have the luxury of time. Though there are a lot of issues in country currently, but due to time, I think the list is okay.
Okay, thank you so much. So I would like to display the document on our first topic, and we saw that Nemort did a release of the progress being made by the government, and it's a 59-page document. I couldn't just run through the 59-page document just before we come on this show, because there's some other different activities happening. But they've said that the government didn't rest on most of the promises being made by the government during the campaign period, there was a lot of promises being made by the government on its arrest agenda. And I don't know if you hear me, but I just want to come with a few, because I don't know why this is not displaying on the laptop. I wanted to, let me see if it was still low, but I wanted to come with this part and just read a few. Is 59 pages. So it says, let me read this first part, executive summary. It says, the President Meter Project represents NEMO flagship initiative for monitoring, tracking, documenting, and reporting on government performance. This initiative aims to provide an independent assessment on the implementation of the REST agenda for inclusive development, AARD, launched by President Joseph Yama Boyka Sr. in January 2025 to fulfill the social contract between the president and voters. So, key findings across the 6 AARD pillars. Liberia's 2025 reform landscape reflects a broad interconnection of institutional strengthening as part of the effort to economic revitalization and citizen-centered development. Key findings drawn from AARD's intervention demonstrates a reasonable move towards. I want to find a place, if I can have this displaying very shortly, I know it will happen on the laptop. I can be able to display it on the screen for our viewers as well. So, but let me get your side, James, while I wait this to display on the laptop so I can bring it out to. I don't know why James left the show. Let's see how it goes. But James left the show already. And okay, let me add James back on. And it's great that you back, James. I want to get your own views of what you saw and what you read about the President Meter report from NEMOT, while I display this on the screen as well, and we go through it.
Yeah, so as we ought to read some portion of the documents, even though they didn't went further into it, because it's a very huge document that need a breakdown bit by bit. But from what I've read is that out of the 378 promises that was made by the president, out of that number, only 3 of them, has been completed out of the promises. So accordingly, for the 43.7% of the promise that was made by the president are ongoing currently. 20.1% are projects that hasn't been touched yet, and the remaining ones is something that the NEMO was not able to get proper clarity on. That is the information that was being provided by government authority as to as relating to those projects or those promises that was made. They hasn't been able to get that clarity on it. So, but I think like some of the recommendation that was made by NEMO, that the government need to focus more, because there's still some challenges when it comes to having these projects or these promises, being fulfilled. They need to work, because this is the third year. This is the third year of this government, so it tells you that we only have limited time, and when it cannot work tirelessly, it means that some of those promises that was made are going to be dashing way back there. They may not even think about it, or they may not even touch it. Like some of them are currently ongoing. Those one maybe they may be able to complete them, but there are a lot of promises that was made out of 378. Imagine that, and you stay here with three, in a third year. So it tells you that there's still some challenges. There's still some challenges, and like I said, some of the recommendation that they make, they are calling on the government to fast track some of those promises, like some of the projects. They need to fast track it because this is the third year of this administration, and there need to be more like transparency, like the some of the area that is there. Some projects, it's not open up to the public. People don't know how it's going and all of that. So I think they have to make it more open to the people, let it look transparent. That's the only way the Liberian people will have, the trust in the government, and they will actually know as to how these projects or these promises that was made by the president is really going. So for me, one of those promise that was made, I don't know if Nemo has been able to mention that, is the issue about job. The president is in one of his speeches. He said that job, was a emergency, right? Was a health emergency in Liberia, and they were going to fight, to making sure that jobs situation can be minimized or can be reduced in the country. And for one fight, I think I've seen the government working towards that. That's my own, analysis now. But I haven't read the entire document. I don't know if Nemo was able to mention that. But when it comes to the fight against drug, I think that was one of the promises that was made by the president in one of his speeches. And for that aspect, yes, they are working tirelessly. The LDA, alongside with other security apparatus, they are working towards that aspect. Of recent, we are seeing, drug dealer has been arrested, drug cases being fast tracked, people being sent to court, and all of that. We are seeing some of those things working out. But again, these things may be happening, but the only way people in Liberia we actually get to know that this government is working on some of those promises that was made. They got to be, more information towards these projects or these promises that were made. Because if the government will hold tight to information, then it's going to get the public to carry sentiment or to carry some misinformation to the publics, because someone may just go somewhere like the situation with the projects in Foya, right? We saw how that information escalated all over the corridors of Liberia, all because there was no proper information that was provided to the people. So the government need to provide more clarity, to Liberians based, on some of their projects or some of the promises that was made by the president as to how far it's going. They don't have to wait maybe an organization or institution like NEMO to come out and say yes. I think the government too need to have that special arm in the government that will say, well, the first year or the second year of our government, this is what we have been able to do. And like we are looking forward to the Sunan. We expect the president, maybe he's going to highlight some of these very challenges or some of these very things that NEMO has been able to come up with, because I believe the government should be able to do that. That's the only way you can know your strength, you can know, what you are doing and what you are hailing to and all of that. I think that would be really good for if they can do that. But to be clear with you, there are still challenges, because having you just completely three of the promises that was made out of the 378, it tells you that they are still back there. They are still back there. There are a lot more need to be done if they want to complete most of those, projects or promises that was being made. They want to actually get it 100% done. Then the government need to focus. They will listen to a lot of things in the public, but they need more focus right now. And they need to do just what they promised the Liberian people, because the hope and aspiration of Liberians was in this government at the campaign stage. They saw some things and there was some promise that was made by the head of this government, which is the president, that the people saw, that they believed that he was going to be the one to make some of those changes to improve their life. So the president and the government in totality need to do well, and that's the only way that public trust can be, imposed in them again. Maybe come the next election or whatever it is, the people can say yes. Maybe we can still carry this government, or we cannot carry this government. But it's based on the promises that was made.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, James. And you've said it all. We also seeing how best we can get Trocon Gray. He comes from the motorcycle union. We'll have Trocon to talk a little bit because we don't have all of the time about their upcoming initiative. Since Trocon is already with us, we just talked to him a little bit about their upcoming election. Trocon is up for the election, so we have Trocon talking to us a little bit. Let me say good evening to you, my friend and brother Trocon. The only man I can call me or text me when he wants for us to have business going on.
Oh yeah, good evening. Good evening to
Can you hear
your
me,
audience.
Trocon?
I'm getting you loud and clear. I hope I'm clear.
Trocon Mark is
You better.
muted.
You better.
Hello?
Am I clear? Yeah. I'm getting you. Am I clear?
Yes, Williams, I'm getting you.
Hello?
Welcome
I'm
to the
getting you.
show. How's your end, Trocon?
Yeah, I'm
James, can you
okay.
hear
I'm okay.
Trocon?
Yeah, I'm getting him. I'm getting you.
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I said I'm okay. Hello?
Williams, I'm getting
Hello?
him. I'm getting you.
Yeah, so I said I'm okay.
Are you getting Williams as well?
Yes, I got him when he spoke.
Oh, okay. So Williams, you got to check out your end. He's not getting you. Currently, your mic is muted. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's perfect now.
Okay, I getting some feedback, so let me adjust to that. Yeah, Trocon, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Like I said, I'm okay. I'm doing great.
Okay. So you are up for election very soon, and you've been hearing a lot of motorcyclists across our country. I've been one person who been able to witness you controlling and having one of the very peaceful protests to be ever staged in this country by an organization from the motorcycle sector. When is the election? That's the first question I want to ask.
The election, tentatively, it is scheduled for February 10, 2026. We hold that date for now. If there is any adjustment, I'm going to inform the public about it. But as of now, it is scheduled for February 10, 2026.
Okay. February 10. And what are some things that your supporters should be able to expect from Trocon Gray, commonly known as Yellow Machine, once elected into the position as president for the Supreme Motorcycle and Transport Union?
So, the first thing here is that I'm still the president of Supreme Motorcycle Transport Union of Liberia. The election we are going to is the National Federation of Motorcycle and Tricycle Association of Liberia. That is the parent body of all of the institutions, all of the different constituent unions. So, to your question, if I'm elected as the president of the federation, there are a lot of things I intend to do with the help of my colleagues. But one of the things on my agenda is to have an inclusive organization. You know, our federation is scheduled, it's arranged in a way that it denies a lot of motorcyclists from taking part in the election. I would want an election, or I would want a federation wherein all of the motorcyclists can have the opportunity to vote, because the way we do it, we have delegates for the 15 countries. The arrangement is said that, for example, it says 20 motorcyclists from each country. In my mind, that is not a full representation, because some countries got up to 20 parking, some countries got up to 30 parking lots, some countries got up to 40 parking lots. So some countries got less districts, some countries got more districts. So if you look at the entire country, there are only 20 motorcycles to take part in the election that will say are delegate. In my mind, there are thousands of other motorcycles that will be denied, or that are denied, you know, for taking part in the election. In my mind, it should not be so. You know, the motorcycles themselves, the same way we can have the national election, motorcycles you have the full right. Because most of the people that represent this country are members of the leadership. Who knows? And you know, who knows what they are actually working in the interest of their colleagues. But our constitution says that they must represent the country in terms of this kind of convention. So in my mind, I think the motorcycle should be a full, you know.
I don't know if you can hear Trocon James, but I think my network is very
bad. Can I go on? Can I continue? Yes. So I would want to have I would want our institution to be actually decentralized. The next thing we have on our agenda is the issue about advocacy. That we have been involved with more than 10 years of our life. Look, we want to continue. We want to ask our colleagues from the 15 countries to give us the opportunity to enlarge our platforms. If we could use just a single union, which is the Supreme Motorcycle Transport Union, that to speak on behalf of motorcycles nationwide. This is something we have been doing for more than 10 years. We believe that if we have the opportunity to control the national federation that have direct supervision over the entire country, we believe that we can do more in terms of advocacy. Because we believe that advocating for our people are always victimized, but not just the government, but government in some part. So we believe our advocacy is going to extend, because we have a bigger platform to speak for our people. The next issue we have on our agenda is the issue of education. In my mind, many motorcycles, what it is, kind of education they need right now is career program, like trade. And you know, because many of us you find riding bike right now, trust me, we have the energy to hold the motorbike, 2 person can claim only. That energy is available right now. What happens to us 10 years from now? What happens to us 5 years from now? So in my mind, you see all our platforms talk about education is to be able to lobby with other local and international partners, including government, to provide vocational education for our young people. It's not just about somebody that ride motorbike the rest of their life and they can transition. So if that makes it connect somebody wire as an electrician, if that makes it connect somebody prep as a plumber, hands-on career. I mean, it could transition. And with this kind of form of education, many of the motorcycles will transition from just being a permanent motorcycle to something better. The next issue we have on our agenda is to decentralize the leadership. Many a time, most of our leaders, most of the leadership from the federation, most of them are residents of most of the other countries. In my mind, it should not be so. People from Maryland County, people from Grand Nigeria, people from River Limba, and Lopa, that you have the opportunity as well. But we don't, for me, I don't see a necessity of our Eagles to have a national federation, and then we want to follow the same pattern of our governance space, wherein a government takes power, all it does is to get to do most of the appointment from right here in most of the other county, or most of the people that are elected are people that will be resident of most of the other county, but will be privileged or will have the opportunity to be representative or senator of other countries, even though they are not resident of this country. So I mean, these are things that we want to focus on. And these are things that we want to focus on. And in my mind, if we have the opportunity to take on the leadership, and we can achieve that with the support of our colleagues.
Another issue is that many people believe or have this mindset that motorcycle is has often been used by politicians to, let's say, carry on violence and other political rallies. What's your leadership hope to bring to making that change, that motorcycle will not just be people maybe in time of campaign they're going to use them, and at the end of the day they just dash it away?
So we will educate our people that we are already started. No, chief, I feel very terrible on a daily basis when I see the manner in form we motorcycle. Let me say, politicians consider the motorcycle. We guys consider all as a political condom, wherein they will lecture our people. They will tell them that they are useful. They will admit that our motorcycle are contributing immensely to the growth and development of this country. And at the end of the day, after giving all of these different sweet warnings when our people elect them, they change their back on us. Take for example, President Baka is a typical example. President Baka made the motorcycle to understand that we should not be riding back. That bro is too rich to see the young generation of our country get riding motorbike, get reduced to riding motorbike. But President Baka said that bro is rich. He didn't lie. Our country is rich. Our country got everything it takes for us to enjoy. Right? When President Baka said that we, the young people of this country, we should be doing something better of our lives, because some of the reason why our lives are not better is because people that we interact with the country leadership don't have love for our people. When President Baka said these things, I mean, to some extent, we agree with him that many of the leaders that are serving the power are not in the interest of us. So he asked for the leadership to transform our lives. He asked for the leadership to provide jobs for the motorcycle. And so based on these promises that motorcycle prove in their numbers, to be elected as the president of the government of Liberia. Guess what? When President Baka became president, he betrayed us. He took our only money that we had. He beat us for us to register our bags. After registering our bags, then he banned our people and said, you can't enter the capital city. In my mind, that's a betrayal. He betrayed the motorcyclists because he promised us joy, he promised to protect us. He promised to protect our hustle. He told us that your motorbike will never be used for you to take it to work, your company will waste. Sadly, he can't have police all in the street, brutalizing our motorcyclists. He can't have people in the street harassing ticket drivers. So, I mean, this is an age-old problem, and that's why we want to take on the leadership to change the narrative of motorcyclists that being used as a political condom, because we will be very, active in providing the necessary education for our people. That politicians will not just come and grab gas and just go to parking lots and you're robbed. I mean, no, that will not work. And that's part of the reason why you see I'm being fought, because the level of IQ I bring to the disco is not that I'm breaking, but trust me, there will be a lot of transformation in our sector. Nobody, no individual politician will just jump out for easiness, so just run on a motorcycle and say, your father, Jamie, we be on job there, by that right, no. We will provide a necessary education for them because at the end of the day, when you put the wrong people there, everybody suffer. See the restriction that is going on now. You think the government cared about who voted for them, who not vote for them? For every one of the motorcycles that face them today, there are some of our friends who dropped out of school because of the government restrictions. There are some of our friends who fall because of those restrictions. So we will educate our people going forward. We will do everything in our power to educate them because we can't continue to be used as a political condom. So we are on an obligation to do that, and we'll do it passionately.
You also talk about education, which is one of your pillars for your campaign. Now, many of your motorcyclists, some of them are riding a motorbike. But when it comes to having the financial education, how to maybe manage their money, to maybe have a little establishment so that they can just use the bag as a means of funding maybe the daily bread, and that's just all about it. Sometimes they don't have nothing back saving. What do you intend to do for them when it comes to having some of these education, like maybe having some workshop and other training for them?
So we talk about education. Look, motorcyclists are very important. We raise a lot of money. And let me erase the wrong perception about us that motorcycle is not a job. No, it's a job. It provides food for us. It provides our livelihood. Don't get it wrong. If you go to the office, whether you are a journalist, whether you are a carpenter, whatever you find yourself doing that provide your daily bread, it's a job. Now, there is a difference between other jobs and this job that we are doing. This job is risky, right? Because you risk your life to put food on your table, right? So you risk your life. So it's a risky job, but it's a job because it provides food for us. It provides our livelihood. Now, let me move to the next point. Many a time we raise money for our individual motorcycle riding job like we do for. The issue about managing our resources is a problem. And that's why sometimes you will find one motorbike man riding back 10, 15, 20 years, he still riding back because of mismanagement. Education, workshop will be provided for these kind of people because it's not that they can raise the money, but when they raise the money, they use it on things that they got no business using it on. Some of the education we intend to provide is some of our friends who are already started very family. Say, for example, if I'm 35 years old and that's you let it go back to grade school? You let it think so? No, it is not possible. Because my attention will not be focused on bringing my children up, providing for the children, providing for my girlfriend or if my wife. So the issue about me going back to school to continue my education will be difficult. But what can I do to be useful in society is the issue about vocational education. Because guess what? Is that making connect somebody wild? And the thing about education, when you are educated, you do less work, you make more money. So, for example, if I ride motorbike and I got a career, for example, and I know how to connect somebody wild, somebody could call me and give me a contract of maybe $200 or $300 US. I can use less than 1 week to raise up to $300 US. And you know when I ride motorbike, I can raise that money in 2 weeks time or 1 week time. It's not possible. So education is very key. More than vocational education. So these are some of the programs we tend to do, and we will do it with the support of our colleagues in leadership, because it's not just about us. We'll do it with the support of our motorcyclists in the field there. Because sometimes we raise money. Trust me, if I organize a program today and say I want motorcycles to come so we can marry, make train, make call, probably have fun, of course there will be a lot of motorcycles that will volunteer to bring their finances. But guess what? You think it will easily be possible for us to raise money to send one of the motorcycles to school? You think they will really feel fun doing it? No. So we must be able to provide it, we should be able to give them adequate information or reason why they should support their colleagues. Because there are some of us who are running back today, we got degrees, right? We got education, we are classroom, we are formal classroom, and teacher and the rest of them. So people have the capacity, but how to place them in different capacities for it to work for us, that's the problem. And that's why we are asking the public in our motorcycle sector to provide us the space, provide us the platform for us to do more for them.
Okay. Okay. So you also talk about transparency. A lot of times, the motorcyclist union, this union has been able to collect money, but at the end of the day, the motorcyclists are surprised. They can see any level of development or anything like that they are feeling that impact. That yes, this is our organization. Maybe somebody will fall with sickness and all of that. They can really feel the impact of the organization. What would you like to bring on, with your own, vision about the experience you have had with motorcyclists, making the organization look more transparent?
So let me say thank you. You see, that is one of our major problems we have in this sector. You find many motorcyclists, you see them like driven to individuals like us. They will hear them mention, oh, yellow machine, yellow machine, yellow machine. And the overall institution name will not be mentioned because we have accountability issue. Like you said, our motorcycle pay their dues, they buy ticket, they buy stickers, they buy the yearly sticker. But guess what? These forms, when collected, they go in individual pockets. It goes in individual pockets. And it is embarrassing because the motorcycle should own the institution. They should be the one bragging and say, I am a member of the federation. But who want to brag about something that they are not benefiting from? I mean, who want to celebrate something that is not benefiting them? And that's why the reason why the motorcycle don't like the union, because some of our colleagues, the tackle they will join the police and other security apparatus to harass our people. Yes, they will still collect and abuse. They will still be able to buy ticket and buy sticker. And if you look among the different union officials, I'm the most hit among my colleagues. Do you know why? I disagree with them on that issue because I tell them repeatedly over and over that if I'm elected, people like some of our friends that are in the union that for them that have been robbing our motorcycle and cycling for years, they'll be prosecuted. Nobody is stupid here. Before I begin part of the leadership, I went through similar things. And that's why I am an original motorcyclist. I started as an ordinary motorcycle riding back to the level I am today. I didn't get there by magic. I went through the similar intimidation. So I see the pain of our colleagues that complain on the basis of accountability, because accountability is the hallmark of any good institution. So it is sad. And that's why we are coming to change it, because we get me running institution for collecting money for in the pocket, no impact. You mentioned something about motorcycle making accident, and you will not find a single union official going there to take care of them. What kind of thing is that? Even me, I put it in my shoe. If I was one of those motorcycles, every day would throw blowing the street because I don't get no motorcycle on me, right? I'm not going to waste my money. So it's a problem. But how do we solve it? We don't solve it with the restful people. And people like us, we are asking for this opportunity for us to solve these problems. We know it's not going to be easy because it's a cartel. It is something that in God are used to. I'm not bragging that I'm the most perfect, but I'm not perfect. But trust me, I'm going to do my best. And that's why I encourage regular motorcyclists. All the different meetings that we had, I would say that for the motorcyclists themselves to be part of the election, for they have to vote. But for all of the motorcyclists to be part of the election to vote. Do you know what I wanted at that? When they accept their power, all of the motorcyclists vote, they take ownership of their decision. They will protect and defend the leadership. But guess what? The way we do it, when we get a 20 motorcycle for each country, sometimes when we become when we take on the leadership, then we just the entire motorcycle sector for the entire leadership. And the only thing we do is they just send tackling the few, they just collect ticket money, collect ticket money. They hate us. They don't want to hear the new union. And that's why we are asking Liberia, we are asking motorcycles to give us this opportunity. And we are very serious about it. Like I said, for me, I'm not going to. So let me conclude. So I'm not going to be here to be my church. And we have track record. We are resistant. We have refused thousands of dollars to compromise the interest of our people. If I could compromise, let me say this. If I could compromise the interests of the motorcyclists to any group of people, but now I'm one of those celebrating or spirit seeking the current administration because there are a lot of offers that have been made for me to compromise the interests of my people. And I rejected that on all fronts. And that's part of the reason why you see some of us today, with the help of God, we are moving strong. We are free to go to any motorcycle parking lot. With no fear, everywhere we go, we are protected. Motorcycle and motorcycle. Every part of the country we are traveling to, motorcycle provide all the necessary protection that we need. We don't need police protection, no, because the way we live with our police. Thank you.
So finally, what's that message you have to give to your supporters and also those motorcyclists that are around? Because I'm told guys will be coming from the various countries, right?
Yeah. So,
so what's that message you have to give them?
So there's a message to all of you motorcyclists. For some of you that I've been beyond me, I know the team old because initially I choose not to contest. Let me be honest. Initially I choose not to contest. But again, when you are leading people and they keep insisting, because these are the people that we work for. And they keep insisting that, my man, you got to go. We don't want to continue on the same path. And, you can't be fighting and other people just there collecting money, and they're not doing anything about it. And then you don't have absolute control over the dealership. That would not be a good thing. So I will call it answer. Let me say this to you. I answer your call. I've accepted your endorsement. I accepted your call to contest as the President General of NAFONTA. What you need to do now, all of the calls you've been making is to support this process. This process requires everything. It's my understanding that my rivals is collaborating with the government and they are doing everything they can to make sure that I'm denied of this opportunity. They are supporting the other guy on the basis of politics. Let me say this to you. When we started advocating for motorcycle, we didn't ask for a political identity because our institution is a non-political institution. Our advocacy are always inter-government because they are the one that implement the terrible policies. So they feel trusting, they feel that everything we do against it. We are not against government, we are against the bad policy of government. So for some of you who believe that it is based on politics, no, check our track record. And Facebook always reminding us, every time Facebook remind us, we share these posts. So they say about political party. They say about your own interest. Voting us is the voting for yourself. Voting us will give us the opportunity to elevate the platform to be able to fight for you that we are always done. Tell the motorcyclists in the 15th country, as you will be coming up February 10 to catch your body. Remember that this one for is going to carry you for 4 years. 4 full years. From now to 2030 is that small year you're talking about it. Individually, as an individual constituent union supreme, there are certain things we can do without limitation. But if you give us the mantle of authority to serve as national president for the federation, of course, we can impact, we can do a lot of things together with you. We can move to the 15th country with ease. There are policies, there are programs that we have. You will be included. You can rest assured. I'm not going to be that president that will sit in Monrovia and will not have direct access and talk with my people in Grand Gita, in Lima, in Lofa, in Lima, in other places of the country. You know, I was not president. I not become president for NAFONTA, but I visited the 15th country. I have meetings with almost all of the districts in the country. You know me personally. I have direct interaction with you. There are programs that are taken there. There are a lot of motorcycles that are impacted. Some of them are in government, some of them are out of government. Follow our track record. Don't vote for me because you let me. Vote for me on the basis of my track record. Follow my record. Go on my Facebook post. This is the thing you're machine. That's true what you doing the early left government, the 2 years of early left government. This is the thing you're machine. I don't change. I always do by you, motorcycle. There's the time that you stand for yourself. Voting for me is the voting for yourself. Because you will be doing yourself one of the best things that you have ever done. Because we will stand by you. We will never ever compromise your interest for any personal reason. Again, I want to say thank you for the unique opportunities. Fellow motorcycle, the team will be coming to you in your different districts, in the counties. I can't be everywhere, but my team will be there. will visit all of the districts. The 103 districts will be visited. You can rest assured. The county will be visited. There are some counties that I will visit, but I can't tell you that I will visit all of the counties because time won't permit me. But I'm asking you for your honest support. Let's do this together. Thank you so much again. My name is Chokon Gejino Gray. I'm happy to call Yellow Machine. I'm the president of Supreme Motorcycle Truck Union of Liberia. I'm contesting as the national president for NAFONDA, which is the National Federation of Motorcycle and Tricycle Association of Liberia. I want to say thank you so much, Mr. Williams. I thank you, Jim, for the opportunity, and I pray that after this process, I will come here and be victorious. That I hope you know. Thank you.
Thank you, Williams. Thank you so much, Tricon, for coming on. We look forward to having you, more often to providing more information to your people. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, Trocon, thank you so much for honoring our invite. And Trocon is my comrade. We both in the same university. Tough talking into advocacy. Thank you, James, for hindering the interview. So I just want us to quickly run up to conclude on the president meter report. But before we do that, let me say our viewers listen to Trocon and his platform as well in terms of what he will offer to his voters when elected and his colleagues as well when elected. We saw Trocon hosting one of the biggest protests by motorcycle organization, and it went very perfect. So that's all I can say. And exactly, that's what I can say. Are you there, James?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I think I've been following him.
So
and yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, okay, so I've been following Tricon for quite some time now, and we actually hope and pray that he can be victorious in becoming the president for the Federation of Motorcyclists, Tricycle and Motorcyclists Union. There are a lot of challenges I know the guys are faced with, like he scratched a lot of them, education. There are a lot of issues the guys are actually faced with, but we actually hope with the level of coordination that he been handling the Supreme Motorcyclist Union, he's going to come, if he's successful, and which we hope for, to the federation, with that level of change for the motorcycle. The guys deserve better because they too played a major, role when it comes to the economy of Liberia. They play a major role.
Okay, James. Let me share this document quickly, and we just conclude on the president meter report by NEMOT. And this is what I want to read. It says, let me just read this part quickly. It says, the current assessment of the arrest agenda for inclusive development reveals concerning trends in implementation. Complete intervention, only 3 interventions, which is 0.8%, have been fully completed. Ongoing interventions, 165 interventions, summing up to 43.7%, are currently ongoing. Not started, 76 interventions, 20.1%, have not started. And you have not rated, 134 interventions, some up to 35.4%, could not be rated due to unavailable implementation data. In total, 44.5% of interventions have seen at least some action, while 55.5% of the AARD remains either not started or not rated. These findings underscores the urgent need for enhanced monitoring, reporting, and accountability to ensure that the strategic objective of the AARD are realized. While NEMOT Partners for Democratic Development initial assessments on the County Service Center reveal perhaps the most critical evidence, 60.7% of government services supposedly available at county level are completely unavailable, and 85.7% still require citizens to travel to Monrovia. That's exactly where I want to stop. And because James, this is a 39, not 39, but I should say 59-page document, and I don't know if James there. James, are you there? Okay, hoping that we have James on. Yeah, but that's exactly what it is. And I think less than 20% of the entire project in the second year of this government, approaching the third year, is a massive failure. I don't know how NEMOT managed to gather their report, but I think this is not the first one. Not I think, but this is not the first one, because even on the former government, we had NEMO always releasing reports of fundings in promises made during campaign periods, projects, implementations, and so other things. So I think there shouldn't be that. There shouldn't be something that the likes of Jerry Lemekpia, who is the Minister of Information, Daniel Sando, the likes of Famule, who is also the PRO of the Ministry of Information, can take seriously to render some words on NEMOT. But instead, I think this report should be able to strengthen government to be able to build and boost their confidence and their level of how they will engage projects and messages they carry out. So basically, that's exactly what I have to say to the NEMOT report. And I think our government, because the UP government is in power now, can be able to listen and logically find some suitable solutions to tackling most of these promises and implementing most of these projects.
Sure, you're right about that. One thing that sometimes we have seen with governments is that people behave more, they have that bigotry, they feel like what they do is the perfect thing that they do. So anyone coming up with a suggestion or recommendation, they don't want to take it. But like you said, we look forward to maybe the Ministry of Information and other people not taking this as an issue. Maybe they want to make some statement on NEMO, because NEMO, I think they have been making a lot of reports, even in the past government, in previous government, they've been coming up with a lot of reports. And I think these are institutions that should be encouraged by any other government, because they are there to bring out your losses and some of the things that you have been able to do. Because now with the NEMO coming up with these things, the government now can use this so that they can verge ahead, instead of just taking it as something that somebody want to just do it, maybe to make the government look like they are not doing anything. I think that's not it. But the guys, they get their own way of how they have vetted, or they are going ahead investigating some of these projects or some of the promises that was made by the president. And yeah, they could be right on some of these things, right? Because we as Liberians too, we are seeing them. We are seeing some of the promises that the president made. Some of them, yes, are ongoing, like they said. Some of them have been completed, and yeah, the rest of them. So this is not something that they want to take it any kind of way. It's something that they need to work on. Yeah, because no matter what it takes, no government will say, well, we are 100% on everything. No, you always have lapses, And when people come up with your lapses, you just use that as a stepping stone, to go further instead of playing down it, because that is going to affect. But it's a serious failure for the government. And within 3 years, the 3 years just began. There are a lot more of work need to be done. Serious work need to be done.
Serious work needs to be done, and that's exactly what my brother just said. So basically today's whole sodomization case with Bonjara, we spoke about it last week on our show, and we were robust in calling on authorities responsible for bringing Bonjara to book to be able to arrest him, take him to face whatever investigation and court trials if the need arises. And we saw Bonjara on yesterday, if I can be corrected, appearing at the court to make some statement regarding his alleged involvement into a charge from the Liberia's National Police in terms of gang raping of 15 or 16-year-old minor. And we saw that situation taking a different trend when a photo surfaced on social media where Bonjara was literally laughing in the photograph, smiling like something great happened. And another situation with that situation we saw was the government clearing up the case of the likes of Brian McGill, saying that the DNA resort didn't find anything linked to a former Minister of Youth and Sport, Brian McGill, Deputy Minister Brian McGill, and that the specimen from the DNA shows different individual that the police cannot identify for now, but the case remains open, and Brian McGill has been cleared up, and that any further evidence to perpetrate who be the perpetrator can come to book, and the case will reopen. So you've been following all of that, James. Before I come in, I just want you to give your own perspective, your own understanding, because these are all legal issues. So whatever we say, our own opinion, and we will be very mindful how we speak about these issues, especially when it comes to legal and court proceedings.
Sure. So, like you said, it's our own opinion. We may not be right on some of the things that we may say, because we may not be knowledgeable about the laws and all of that. But I think for our own kind of opinions, the case involving Bonjala, when we saw video footage and showing him smiling and all of that when he was being taken to the court, and the police, when he was being charged, in fact, with gang rape and a lot of charge the police posed on him. But that actually shows how serious we are not, we are not being serious as people in this country when it comes to how people of shows are being handled when it comes to people who abuse human dignity, because that's totally abuse of human dignity in itself. For a grown-up man of sharks, to have gone and do such a thing. I think that is something that doesn't show anything of human. So, but then seeing him portraying that kind of a feature, behavior where we saw him smiling like nothing has happened, I think it only showed the level in which people are being treated based on proximity to certain individual in the country or higher up individual in the country, the way in which they are being treated, and other people too the way in which they are being treated, maybe they don't have any connection. I think that is pride. If that was other people like we have been seeing around here, he wouldn't have been walking, smiling, and shaking hands with people and all of that. We wouldn't have seen that. I think let's just take into account the criminals, the rules that go around here. If today somebody would just say, "Road," you want to see how people are going to treat that guy. You want to see how people, will take stone, people will take rock, or sticks and other things to beat that guy. But for somebody who have going and it's being alleged though, because it's not yet being guilty, but it's being alleged, walking, smiling, and all of that. It want to show the way in which our laws or is being treated to people, maybe not on certain level. The law is being treated to them differently, and at certain level other people are being treated differently. I think that is totally wrong. The law should be the law, and people who even though they have their right, we're not saying people should go and beat the guy or people should be holding here and there. But why would you even be alleged of such a huge crime, Williams, and then we see you smiling and you're walking, shaking hand, almost like nothing has happened. Yeah, nothing has happened. You feel so relaxed. Yeah, because this is the same thing with Brian on the case. Today, we are seeing the case is going the way it is going. And we just hope that this is not going to be the same with this one. It's not going to be the same with this one. There are a lot of charges that the police, according to them, there was a forensic, investigation that was done. And yes, it's proven that the board was being tampered with. But we hope that it's not going to turn around again because people have maybe certain proximity with people are higher up people, so they should be treated differently. We don't want to see that. The law is the law. When a common man who is all the way there commit a crime, he's being treated or being punished by the law. Somebody who is high up, the law should be implied them. It's not because they were deputy minister or they are assistant minister or they are the president's son or the president's grandson. No, that's not why it should be. Yeah, that's not why it should be. Every Liberians, if they commit any crime, whatever punishment that is there for them, they should be able to face the weight of the law. They should not be treated with certain, dignity, and while other people are maltreated. Because if that were other people, we would have seen maybe law enforcement holding the person or doing all of that. But today, it is a different case around. People are smiling, shaking hands with other people, like nothing has even happened. That's a very huge allegations against you. We would have seen the guy, being positioned very quietly and even thinking, because if this case go to court and he's proven guilty, he's going to jail for lifetime because this is a first, felony for against the state, though. So it's not something for you to joke with. But again, we are looking, the Liberians are watching how this case is going to go. Will show the level in which our judiciary system is like high ends. Again, people are looking up to the judiciary branch of government of our country. Those lawyers that are there, those judges that are there, we depend on them because they are the one who should be interpreting the law for us. But what we are seeing over time in Liberia, the laws only apply on people who are not having that close relationship with high opposition people or people who have certain title and all of that, and which is totally wrong. So this one, our eyes are open. We are following the case to the letter. We hope that it's not going to change again in a minute or two. Let everything be done the proper way. So, William, that's what I can say.
You said what you can say, right? And you said right. But the thing is, James, if this particular case involving Bonjara goes anyhow that we don't expect, especially being alleged once proven, we expect Bonjara, who once worked with the NSA, because I'm very sure after this situation he might no longer have access to working with the MSA, which is an integrity security sector in our country. I feel that if just in case he's proven to have committed a crime with others that been alleged of committing the gang rape of sodomizing this 16-year-old boy, I think it won't be something strange. You remember back in Kakata, we had similar situation with the late Maulo
Yeah,
Jara.
of a teacher.
And
Mhm.
yeah, in this case, when in Teen Air, we heard that the late Jala was in prison after a few months, and we saw Jala out of prison. And the thing is, these guys are into some bad behavior, and they got connections with government officials and everything, and committing these crimes. They feel like king, even taken to the court and prison. They don't care about the outcome, about the impact, about the effect, and about the trauma it will cause the family, the individual themselves. This is very bad. This is absolutely bad. And I think the police, the Ministry of Justice, should be able to follow this case to the letter and make sure if Bonjara is found guilty or not. If he's found guilty, he should be brought to book, face the consequence of whatever crime he's committed, especially from what the police have charged him for. And let's see how the court will go about this case. How the court will go about this case. We saw the issue with Brian McGill when police RG Gregory Coleman says they needed DNA. This was the very first alleged rape situation that I've witnessed that they needed DNA for to prove if whether the case against the individual was really true. And this is a case that happened in less than 2 or 3 weeks. We had a similar rape situation, and the individual once worked with one of these government institutions were immediately taken to the Monrovia Central Prison without any DNA resort needed. And now the government, through police RG Gregory Coleman, that's supposed to find you and send you to court, says that Brian McGill is not guilty. The specimen taken, they didn't see anything relating to Brian DNA. We understand all of that. We understand. But how can a person like me look at James and put a crime on James and knowing fully well that James didn't commit this crime only because I want to blackmail James, knowing that if this is not proven, the outcome will be bad. So I think if this is really true, that Brian didn't do what the police says he didn't do, Brian McGill should be brought to book and also prosecuted. Why would the police close the case and say it's an open case as well? If they have any further evidence, they can still go back to the police. Since Brian is not the individual, and the father of the victim was always vocal. I had a talk with him. He had a talk on Spoon. He had a talk with several media institutions. He was vocal and very straight about the issue, alleging that former Minister Brian McGill was the one who did this. I feel that, this is my opinion, I feel that there was a lot of things done at the back that we didn't see. We didn't have a clear picture.
And that was why the case was being slowed.
Of course. Brian McGill case took a lot of time to have international forensic, international DNA testing, a whole lot of different things. But Bonjara didn't have a lot of time for those forensic, and it was quick. It let
I did the forensic stuff forensic stuff came about, with Bone Jala case, very quick. And today we are receiving a forensic, evidence and all of that.
Report. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the government needs to do a clear, a perfect and a clear justice system. Justice shouldn't be selective, and I think with the level and way in which cases are being handled when it comes to top-ranking officials in government, party, uh, affiliates, or however we can call them, I think the police itself, through Gregory Coma, needs to do better. And I think the police shouldn't have the public against them for the way they handle these cases. And I know that they will listen. They will be able to take these kind of advice that we are giving to them. So for these
And
cases,
like
this is
you said about a case that was in Kakata, where one Maolo was being also alleged, and in fact for him, he was being convicted. He was sent to the Kakata central prison, where he was in prison. And interestingly, Williams, we saw he receiving preferential or treatment, where he had his own mattress, he had TV and everything, so that's just how the law is. People who are not to that certain level, they are being treated differently, and the other individuals, because they don't have no status in government, or they don't have anybody in government, they are not well known, they are being treated differently. That's where we have the problem.
exactly. We saw the man had television, he had access to a laptop, a phone, making communication, and a special space at the time when that case came out. And I was jokingly telling somebody, just in case if this is proven, Bonjara will have some nice treatment.
Hmm.
We definitely have some nice treatment. But that's where I can stop on that case, so we can just run up and conclude the show for tonight, James.
Yeah, so it has been a great time. Want to appreciate Chukun for coming on, and we wish him all of the best as well. Again, to all Liberians, this is our country. I think we all need to keep talking. Someone will say, well, but every time we're talking, nothing is changing. I want to believe even the the garden, some of the gardeners, if you were playing a bitter ball and maybe the sun is shining, but you keep on being consistent, watering that bitter ball, or the pepper, watering it every day, I think he will actually, have to be to come up good, because you are watering it, you are putting fertilizers and all of that. So that's just how our country is like. If we all can continue to talk, I want to guess that one of these days our voices will be heard, and people who are at the top there, will listen to the voices of us, and will make the necessary change. But if we just keep silent, silence is one something that, or is one thing that destroyed anyone, even an individual. If you are just silent at home, you don't speak out, someone is doing anything to you at home, and you just mute, people going to use that to rat on you. So yes, we'll not remain silent. One God has given us the mouth to speak. We'll continue to speak out. Liberia deserve better, and we as citizens we deserve better. We can't continue to remain stagnated by just few handful of people, who will amass the wealth of the country and just share among themselves. Few group of people. Imagine 173 person and the rest of the other executive and just few individual, and we have over 5 million human beings. We just have not even reaching to 1,000, or let's take into account even 1,000 or five, benefiting almost the wealth of the country. The rest of the people will remain suffering. To even get medication to the hospital, it's lacking. Quality education is not there. Or you want to talk about electricity, it's not there. So we can continue to remain quiet. Let us speak out, so that the necessary change or reform that we all want to see for this country. Will one of these days happen? But again, we want to say this is your platform. Maybe you have other issues. Sometimes you want to speak about that surrounds the society. Because we just want to find a space to share that education to our people, to change the mindset of Liberians. And I think if you have that kind of mindset, you can come on here. We can all discuss and see how best we can move this country forward. But Williams, it has been a wonderful show, and we look forward to meeting here on Thursday by God's willing.
Thank you so much, James, for always being available on the program, The Roundtable. And like we've said a lot, and I'd like to say thanks to all of our followers, our viewers, for coming on the program, The Roundtable, and making sure that we are able to speak about these issues in our society. Thanks to Trocon Gray. He's always available anytime I call him, but man. Joko, you gotta see me after the show, my brother. And thanks so much, James. We'll be on here Thursday of this week, beginning at 10 p.m. Liberia time.
So the WhatsApp line is active now, right?
Yeah, it's very active. So beginning Thursday, we hoping to have people calling us both locally and on the WhatsApp, and to make their contributions or sending their messages and make their input on the program. Thank you so much, and have a blessed night. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
I cannot go to school, cause no more money. Hey yo, excuse me, Mr. Journalist, I wanna how you make your headlines in the press release today. Although I read the news every day, but I'm really still getting confused now, and I just wanna ask you some questions. Oh, is it based on money? Is it based on presidency? Is it based on technology? Is it based on war? Tell me.